I see a lot of illustration portfolios, from absolute beginners to the biggest professionals in the world. My job would be very boring if every illustration portfolio looked the same, but there are some general tips that I think every illustrator should follow to make their portfolio the best it can be. Before we get into these 10 tips, let's get one thing straight. Your portfolio is not for you. Your portfolio is there to show your illustrations to clients in the most effective and attractive way possible, so they'll hire you. So we need to keep that goal in mind as we build our first portfolio and develop it and work on version 2 and 3 and version 23. It's not about your personal preferences, it's about what works. It has to be easy to use and navigate. It has to display your illustrations in a way that is clear, quick, and not distracting. It's hard enough getting a client to actually look at our website at all. So when they do, we have to make sure we show them the best work we have to offer as quickly as possible and make the best impression we can. If we don't capture their attention in the first 10 or 15 seconds, they'll leave and look at one of the other 10 browser tabs they've got open and hire somebody else. So by all means, design your website so it looks beautiful and interesting and suits your style, but don't forget what it's really for. It is a business tool to help you make money. Tip 1, keep it simple. Your illustrations should be the most interesting thing on your website. If the design and the animated UI elements are more interesting than the illustrations, you've got your priorities wrong. Some of the best illustrators I know have had pretty much the same website for 10 or 15 years. Apart from the occasional adjustment and regular updates with new work, there have been no major changes because it does its job, it works. So adding animated transitions and logos, entrance pages, and getting experimental with the layout are all unnecessary. Tip 2, focus on the first impression. A busy art director looking for an illustrator for a project is almost definitely looking at other artists at the same time. They'll flick through the portfolios of lots of different illustrators quickly to find what they're looking for. You might think the most important thing to focus on is designing an impressive, stylish, and memorable website, but I don't think that's true. Do you want them to remember your website design, or do you want them to remember your illustrations? Since we have so much competition and so little time to make an impression, we have to make sure to show our best work instantly. If they're on your portfolio page for less than 5 seconds, you need to be confident that they've seen the full range of what you can do in your best, most up-to-date illustrations. Tip 3, capture their attention for longer. Related to the previous tip, if there's anything you can do that would persuade that art director to stay on your website for a little bit longer, you should do it. Creators on Instagram or YouTubers will spend a lot of time crafting a hook or tease a big payoff at the end of a video. And these things keep you engaged and keep you watching until the end. You also have to find ways to hook and intrigue clients. This would be a really good time for me to tease a big payoff at the end of this video. Let me think. Oh yeah, the payoff is getting hired to be an illustrator. Here are a few ideas for capturing and keeping attention. Animation. Moving images catch attention better than still ones. If you can add some moving GIFs to your front page, people's eyes will naturally be drawn to them. Case studies. If you've got an impressive project in your portfolio, create a page breaking down how you made it, how long it took to make, what problems you solved, and show the process from start to finish so a client can see how you work. Behind the scenes. Kind of related to case studies, but you can also give people a peek into your life as a creative. At the start, when you're relatively unknown, nobody cares that much about your process, but they might do one day. When you've got real fans, they love to see more of the real you. What you like, what you spend your days doing, and how you do what you do. Tip 4, get the good stuff on the front page. This is a problem I see over and over again. Illustrators will create their portfolio like a collection of project folders. So the thumbnail on the front page might be, this is the project I made for HarperCollins, and the next thumbnail will be, this is the project I made for Samsung, and so on. So on the front page, they have to choose one image from each project that represents that project. It makes sense. It's a very logical way to organize things. From your point of view, everything is in its place, and if you're used to organizing your projects in folders on your computer, this is just a natural way to organize them on your website. But the function of your external hard drive organization is so you can find things when you're looking for them, and most of the time, you know what you're looking for. But on your website, this way of organizing things doesn't make sense because the people looking at it don't know what's in every project, and they definitely don't have time to look through them all. They might not even know what they're looking for. They just want to see what you can do for them. So yes, label each project to tell the client who it was made for, why you made it, but don't hide some of your best images away in these folders because you think it's the best way to organize it. If some of your best work is hidden away in those project folders, most clients will never see them. What a wasted opportunity. Get the best images you have on the front page so any visitors to your website can see them straight away without any searching. Even if it doesn't make sense from an organizational point of view, go for impact over logical organization. Tip 5, show your versatility. The whole debate about niching down or not niching down really comes down to this. Do you want to make your portfolio so specific that you only have the opportunity to work with your one dream kind of client, kids publishers, for example, or do you want to have more opportunities with a wider range of clients? There's no wrong answer, it's totally up to you, but if you only show one kind of work in your portfolio, you'll basically only get opportunities with those kinds of clients. It's high risk, maybe high reward too, but if you apply your style to lots of different kinds of projects, you'll naturally have more opportunities because there's something in your portfolio to appeal to lots of different kinds of clients. My advice is this. If you're at the start of your career and you just want to earn some money and build your reputation, start broad. Take lots of different opportunities and then decide whether you want to specialize later on. Maybe you will, but maybe you'll decide you like the variety. It just gives you way more options. Tip 6, write client-focused captions for your work. Some things a client wants to know, and other things they don't care about. The client wants to know if you've worked for a client like them before. That's what will give them confidence in working with you. So name the clients that you've worked with. They want to know if you've worked on a project like theirs before. So describe the project too. Scientific editorial illustration, for example. They probably don't care about where your mindset or headspace was when you were creating this illustration. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here, but if you write a big long caption about your feelings and mood while you were creating the illustration, it's nice texture and context for people who are in it for the artistic process, but would it influence someone to hire you? I would guess probably not most of the time. But I'm not a person who reads captions very closely. I tend to just scan to find the information I need. So take that with a pinch of salt, but whatever you decide, always consider what the client needs to know and make sure you add that first. Tip 7, put your best work at the top of the front page, not just the most recent work. The default is to have your most recent work at the top of your portfolio. It also makes sense that your favorite images are the most recent ones, but they might not be your best work. You'll probably need a second opinion to get a more objective point of view, but don't just go with the default without giving it serious thought. Really think about what work is going to make you most attractive to clients and show that first. Tip 8, show the work you want to do, whether that's a niche, a skill, or a specific kind of project. If there's a subject you hate drawing, you don't need to include it just for the sake of variety. Over time, you'll get to know what kinds of work you like doing, whether that's working in a particular niche or industry, using certain skills or techniques, or working on a particular kind of project. Show clients what you like doing and what you're best at, and you have more of a chance to be hired for those kinds of projects. One illustrator I admire is called Lydia Hill. She has a section on her website specifically for website landing page work. I've never seen another illustrator have that section on their portfolio, so I hired her to illustrate my landing page. Lydia showed me that she is good at illustrations for landing pages, so I trusted her with my landing page. This is really where specializing starts to naturally grow from, so this is probably a tip for later once you're established and you have some experience and a better sense of where you want your career to go. Tip 9, treat your personal projects with the same care and polish and attention as any client work that you've got in there. At the start of your career, most of the work in your portfolio is going to be personal, self-initiated projects, maybe with a few client projects in there too. Do you really want to highlight the fact that only a small minority of your projects are real client work by labeling them as personal projects? How does that look to a client? It makes you look like a beginner. If you label up every personal project as such, you are communicating that you don't have much experience. You're under no obligation to disclose the fact that you're a beginner. If you treat every project in your portfolio with the same care and presentation, every project will look the best it can be. If the client can't tell which projects are personal projects and which ones are paid work from other clients, well, that's better for you. It makes you look more experienced than you are. You don't have to lie, but you also don't have to shout it out that you're a beginner. If there's no real client, you can keep project details vague. As long as the work is good, that's the important thing. Tip 10. Testimonials are great if you can get them. Back to what I said earlier, what does a client care about? They want to know whether you've worked for clients like them before and worked on projects like theirs before. They need to trust you enough to hire you. And a great way to show that you're trustworthy is to show that other people trust you. It's an old school move, but it stands the test of time because it works. We read restaurant reviews, Amazon reviews, we add references to resumes. We want to see positive comments from real people. So ask for testimonials throughout your career and display them proudly. I have lots more portfolio tips scattered through the channel, so you can check out this playlist, or if you want to see an example of what I think is a really good illustration portfolio website, watch this video. See you next time.